Prince Charles deserves to be our next king, says Sun royal photographer Arthur Edwards. His support comes after a poll showed 51% of people want William to be the next monarch. Arthur says after 65 years as heir, Charles will be a good king. His disastrous marriage to Diana will always hang over him, but that's no reason why Prince Charles should not be our next king. I'm lucky enough to have photographed the Prince of Wales meeting the great, the good and the salt of the earth on every continent over the last 4 decades. He calls me Arthur and I call him Sir. It works quite well. I believe it's given me a unique insight into his mindset and his ability to be our next head of state. So when a recent poll in The Sun revealed 51% of Brits want to skip Charles and make Prince William king, I had to disagree. It followed the inevitable backlash against Charles after last month's controversial Channel 4 documentary Diana, in her own words. But, I'm afraid, that's not how the monarchy works. It's not an X-factor vote. Charles will be our next king. It's his birthright. He will be good at it. Here's why. Firstly, when people listen to the Diana tapes, which the princess never meant to go public, they are hearing only one side of the story. I mean, the marriage went wrong. The love just went out of it. The fact is Charles has never spoken publicly of his marriage to Diana and he never will. He felt that airing dirty washing in public was not the way to conduct yourself and would harm and hurt his children, and he would never do that. He also wrote to all his friends after the separation to say, "Please do not speak ill of Diana. If you do, you will lose my friendship." I know that because one of his very close friends told me. In Channel 4's documentary, Diana told her voice coach Charles said to her, "I refuse to be the only Prince of Wales who never had a mistress." When she confronted him about his affair with Camilla, "I will go to my grave knowing he'd never say anything so arrogant." The 20th anniversary of Diana's death is acutely painful for him. William and Harry, rightly, spoke lovingly of their mother in the BBC documentary last night, but Charles is paralyzed. Almost anything he says carries the danger of looking unsympathetic or cruel, so he says nothing, yet his silence can make him appear unfeeling. It is an impossible position. The marriage unraveled, both parties moved on. After so long, so must we. Incredibly, Charles has been first in line to the throne for 65 years. He is 68 and knows what is expected of him. Unlike William, he's not got a young family requiring constant attention. Charles has been vilified for meddling in politics. In 2015, the Black Spider memo, so-called due to his distinctive handwriting, revealed he often expressed political views to ministers. My view on this is, so what? Don't we want our next head of state to have opinions on the great issues of the day? This is an educated and passionate man who wants to have his say. Charles is very bright and he rarely stops working. Even on holiday at Balmoral he'll be at his desk from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. He only stops when Camilla hauls him off for a walk. Look at his Prince's Trust charity. It's turned around the lives of 1 million kids. One day in Colchester, Essex, a woman rushed up and kissed him at a trust event. I found single mum Lou Holland, then 28, and asked, "What did you do that for?" She told me that before joining the Prince's Trust she was living in a grotty flat on benefits. She said, "I now have my own hairdressers, I have childcare and a proper place to live, all because of him." There are thousands of stories like that. After presenting the Sun's Police Bravery Awards, Charles suggested we do one for the military. This year is our 10th anniversary of the Millies. Charles has often presented them. In the 40 years I've worked with Charles, he's introduced me to 2 popes and to President Obama in the Oval Office. But he doesn't only think of the wealthy and the decision-makers. Last Christmas, I went with him to a hospice near his Gloucester home. He was pulling crackers inside 2 minutes. The place became like a party. He brought joy and laughter, and, you know, he's been doing that for years. It's just that he's only opened his door to the media this year. Then there's his passion for architecture and the environment. I've seen him plead with presidents and princes to save rainforests. So, we need to remember the monarchy isn't a popularity contest. After waiting so long, Charles truly deserves to be king.